My life has been largely a question of painting in my various studios, for the last 40 years at Cromwell Place. Yet Cromwell Place for many years achieved another status. It was the meeting ground of a large number of famous people holding all sorts of views and engaged in many different activities. These people didn't come to see me, they came to see Hazel. She loved making friends. She had the gift, and the power to use it delighted her always. She enjoyed all sorts and conditions of people, and she was almost childishly anxious to win each and everyone's esteem and affection. She was genuinely interested in all she met, old or young, celebrities or nobodies. To her they were somebodies because they were human beings, and all humanity enthralled her. She was in love with the spectacle of life. When illness took her hand from the pulse of the lives of others, she died. My life was my work, painting. Her life was life itself. She had much Irish blood, but she was primarily an American of a particular type, an American aristocrat. I shall not be misunderstood when I say that Americans on the whole are still so vital, so young, so eager, that aristocracy, which is a late flower in a nation's life, is hardly yet developed in their great country. On the whole, American women have other qualities, unique and fascinating. But there are some aristocrats already, doubtless prophetic of the future, in that favoured land which flows with so much promise and holds up so much hope. They are to be met with here and there, in an office, behind a counter, in the home. They are amazingly different from the others. Sometimes they are active, as in the case of Amelia Earhart, whose simplest movement was informed with a kind of rugged royalty. But more often they have a sort of dreamlike quality about them, in striking contrast to the make-it-snappy atmosphere of the country. They even build up something of an imaginary world and dwell in it. They possess a quality which can only be described by an out-of-date word in the old world: goodness. Their eyes are large and have a certain age-old gaze about them that makes one think that these women belong to the most ancient rather than the youngest of nations. Hazel was of this kind, though perhaps such eyes haven't been seen elsewhere. She possessed that easy poise which conveys the suggestion neither of superiority nor of inferiority, but of equality with all. She was incapable of condescension and incapable of kowtowing. When equality is an ideal with people, they either live up to it or down to it with an obvious effort. With Hazel, it wasn't an ideal, but her natural feeling. Hence, when she met royalty, there was no strain, for her manner was so naturally charming, and the king and queen felt this, I think. Even her daughter Alice, at the age of 5, showed it when she tried to interest the Queen by saying, "I have the same dancing mistress as your little girl." This freedom from embarrassment seemed a relief to royalty, so accustomed to the not speaking till spoken to conventions. Americans have more right, I think, than any other republic to use the terms liberty, equality, and fraternity. Hazel loved to meet people who excelled in anything, and she was equally interested whether they were rulers, writers, soldiers, or painters. She herself, as I've pointed out before, was a very good artist, and her views on books were found so worthwhile, even by Bernard Shaw, that he used to send her batches of his Intelligent Women's Guide to Socialism while he was writing it. But it was as a hostess that she excelled and found her true art. She had exquisite tact and discrimination, and mixed her friends with the ease and grace of the most successful diplomat. When they came, whoever they were, they all felt that they had something in common: this pleasure of the moment,